Hello and welcome to Monday Night Football here on youtube.com/Seannosaurus Rex 2. Pittsburgh is 8-6. They lead the AFC North. San Diego is 7-7. They are in, or going into the week, we're in a three-way tie with the Broncos, the Chiefs, and the Raiders. The Raiders have I'm pretty sure they've locked up the AFC West and punched their ticket because of that tie. Their worst record can be 9-6-1. The best records that any of the other teams, as we take a look at Derek Brooks, 101 tackles on the season, 10 sacks. The best records that any of the other teams can get are 9-7. So I think that half win or whatever would give them the advantage with that tie. LaDainian Tomlinson, 214 attempts, 1,084 yards on the ground, a 5.1 yard average, 16 touchdowns on the ground. Let's see.
The visiting captain will make the call.
Steelers
Captain, what's your choice?
lead the AFC North. They are the 4 seed. Chargers tied for second in the AFC West in that big five-way tie I've been talking about going into this game with the Chiefs, the Broncos, the Texans, the Chiefs, and the Ravens. Now, the Ravens are the interesting kind of wild card here. Both these teams need wins. The Steelers need the win to, I believe, that would clinch them the AFC North and put them in the 4 spot. The Chargers, they need to win to keep pace with the Chiefs, who have won, and whatever other teams might win. As we will take a look at the scores a little bit later. A fumble on the opening kick, and it's going to be returned for a touchdown. The Chargers, what a start. So the Ravens play the Browns. I think the Browns would be eliminated because of some teams getting 8 wins. It's all very confusing. I talked about it a little bit in the Sunday night game, maybe both of them. But if this game had more stats, it would be helpful. Because the newer games would have, like, the division wins and the conference wins and the help determine the tiebreaker sort of things. This game just has, here's how many you've won, here's how many you've lost, and here's how many you've tied. That's it. So the second kickoff from San Diego in the first 10 in-game seconds. A little bit shorter. This one's returned from the 6. We have not seen any fumbles on the kickoff return. And for them to be able to advance it is actually kind of wild. I would assume that that's a rule that's amended at this point because it's hard to stop that. But it also is pretty rare. But we know the NFL, the no fun league. Maddox, LaDainian Tomlinson, who we took a look at in the intro. Getting through that Steelers offense real quick.
There it is.
First and 10. Maddox rips it downfield. Oh my goodness. A diving Derek Brooks interception is going to be the second turnover of the first quarter for the Steelers. It's going to be the second turnover for the Pittsburgh Steelers in the first 20 seconds of this game. Wow. Trent Dill for Michael Pittman, Lavernius Coles, Tony Gonzalez, some names on that Chargers offense. Fires near side. I was really worried that was going to be intercepted.
The pass was incomplete.
These teams do not need to play nearly as dangerously as they are. Actually, it's going to be just kind of off the receiver. Jason Sehorn, Brian Dawkins. Washington, who's a name that I recognize, or a face I recognize more from the random rosters era than like my own memory. We remember a beautiful smile when we get it. Hit as he throws, but finds the receiver toward the near sideline. He's going to get upfield for a fresh set of downs. It'll be 1st and 10 around the 40-yard line. Wolfer stands in and takes the hit. Kind of that rare pass to the flat area that isn't behind the line of scrimmage and actually is a benefit to the team and not a complete and total detriment. I formation for Dilfer and the Chargers as he's going to get away from that first tackle. And a nice run for Michael Pittman, if I remember the name correctly. Second down and 3. Dilfer drops back, throws near side. Boy, it's a dangerous throw over there. I like the idea. It does seem to work. Is some of those kind of more angled routes toward the corner. Some of the flat routes toward the corner can give the quarterbacks trouble and lead to turnovers. Dilfer's 2 for 2 going that way, but I wouldn't be surprised if it burns him later. Here's another run for the Chargers. Tried to get out of the way of the first guy. The second guy said, "I'm done being blocked by you," and tackled him. 2nd and 10. There is a nice find, a little behind the receiver, but actually a pretty nice adjustment. As he goes up and gets it, does get hit right in that little rib cage area. So a defender able to lay a big hit on the receiver there. 1st and 10. We'll be at the 14-yard line.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
From under center. It's going to go with a pitch to the outside. Stay outside and pick up the touchdown. What a start for the Chargers. They are up 13-0, and we are barely halfway through this first quarter. So that means that the Ravens can really benefit themselves with a win against the Browns. And we will obviously catch you up on all the scores, and we'll show you the standings at the end of this video and try to get you set. We'll get you set the best we can for week number 17. Kick is up, kick is good. And we are not quite to the halfway point of the first quarter. It's already 14-0. One of the wildest starts that we've had. A fumble on the opening kickoff that got returned for a touchdown. And it'll be returned from the 5. Really should have stayed to the left. He'll get to the 27, 26-yard line, somewhere in there. But we saw this in the game with Minnesota as well. When there's a defender that's down on the ground, try to exploit that side. Because there's a defender that's on the ground. So it's 1st and 10, 2:32 to go here. One play. It was an interception. 0 for 1, 1 interception. See if they want to work it on the ground here. No. He's lucky that was not picked off. There was something in me that was like, that's going to be a middle linebacker miracle diving interception, and it's just going to be the worst Monday night game that we have seen. Steelers need something to go their way here. 0 for 2 through the air. And Maddox is going to do it again. There is a blitz off the far side. High steps his way out of it, and he's off to the races. Out near the 50, he'll be stopped just shy. Chargers had what they wanted. This game does tend to give the benefit to the runner to break at least one tackle typically. And in Maddox's case, it was that high step animation to get out of the shoestring tackle. So it's a fresh set of downs. That's what the Pittsburgh Steelers need. Just something to get the gears turning in the correct way. We go with a fake pitch, roll. Throws it down the field wide open. It has a receiver down to the 15-yard line. That was a really good play call. And that's going to be Shannon Sharp, which is a name I might have missed. I do think the game gets thrown off when there's those quick changes in possessions. Because it wants to do the TV broadcast thing, but then it's like, don't know what to do. From the 15-yard line, it's going to be a free rusher off the edge. We saw this a ton in that Minnesota-Kansas City game. Of just nobody able to block or chip or anything. Just a free rush into the backfield. I do think maybe running the ball would help a little bit to try and mitigate how aggressive the defense would be. That's what I thought Minnesota should have done a little more of. I think they ended with negative rushing yards. They might have picked up a couple there in the waning moments of that loss, but we're going to see a false start here because we saw the passing icons. Second down and 23 now following the sack and the penalty. But if the Steelers can maybe put the ball in the belly of the running back, maybe that San Diego defense is a little less willing to try and all-out blitz off the edge. They've done two of them. They got to the quarterback once, and then the other was actually a nice job by Maddox to get out of that tackle and up the field for about 20 yards. That's a nice completion to get all the lost yardage back. It's third down and 11. So I guess not quite all of it, but most of it. See if we get one more play here. That 1 second will have an extra beat. And we do. Last play of the first quarter is Maddox dropping back, steps, fires, incomplete. Chargers get a hand on that ball. It'll be 4th and 11. And likely a field goal try for Pittsburgh to start off quarter number 2. Monday Night Football continues with the second quarter in just a moment. It's youtube.com/SeannosaurusRex2. Thanks for hanging out. If you'd like more, subscribe to the channel. Give it a thumbs up if you're enjoying it. Football every Thursday, Sunday, and Monday. As we get ready for Week 17 starting Thursday, and then the playoffs coming up the week after that. We should be launching a new season of this alongside a new season of the NFL. The kick is up. The kick is good. John Carney knocks it through for, well, the number on his jersey. 3 points. So here's the first kickoff of the day for the Steelers. We've seen 3 of them from the Chargers already. And right at the bottom of the R for the Steelers. They return out to the 25-yard line, so a nice run back there.
Return the kick. The return covered 25 yards.
See what the Chargers can do with a bit of a longer field. 3 for 4 through the air. Pretty balanced attack so far, though they haven't had the most field that they needed to work with. So here's a run. Try it off that right side. Give him maybe 2. Second down and 9, so I'm wrong. A gain of a yard. Dilfer throws over the middle. A little errant there. And it's 3rd down and 9. Steelers were the best opportunity for a completion there, and that's the wrong team. It's a big play for the Steelers defense. See if they can come up with a stop here on a 3rd and long. Dilfer's going to drop back. Stands in the pocket, fires over the middle, and I can't believe that that was a catch. Of all the tips and deflections and defensive advantages this game seems to give, for that to be a completion is wild. Maybe to look a little better on the replay. Yeah, a little bit. Our angle isn't great. It's hard to tell the depth at times. It'll be 1st and 10. Ball at the 38-yard line. And it's going to be a run play. It's a nice job to spin out of the first tackle, at least lessen the damage.
Let's get this.
2nd and 11. They're going to go with a pitch. That's going to be an even worse play. Boy. 3rd down and 15. The losses piled up quickly on that one.
You got no.
Dilfer stands back and fires, and looks like the receiver had lost his balance a little bit. Still almost in the area to make the catch, but knocked away by the Pittsburgh defense. It'll be a punt to the Steelers, and he will return it from the 21-yard line. Not going to really be able to get very far up the field. At least makes the first guy miss. Not a terrible return, about 10 yards or so. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. Maddox is going to drop back. He'll throw it, and that's knocked away. 3 Charger defenders in the area. Looking for Sharp on that one. From the I formation, the Chargers send some extra defenders. Almost get to the quarterback, but it's going to be an incomplete pass. Maddox does a good job to just get it out of his hand and at least give his receiver a shot at making a catch. Some run plays might slow this Chargers defense down that is really ready to try and get to the quarterback. Maddox throws. It's going to be incomplete. He is 2 for 8. Maddox is. 41 yards and 1 interception on the day. Even if you take the interception off the board, he's still 2 for 7. As it was the very first pass that he threw was an interception. It was a wild start for this Pittsburgh team. 2:34 to go here in the second quarter. Dilfer leads the Chargers back out onto the field, up by 11. They'll work with a split back set. They will go with a run right up the middle. Pittman gets past the first guy and able to get a nice chunk on the ground. I think that would really benefit San Diego if they can do the running game, but for like a different reason, just try to keep this game moving, shorten it up. You don't want to leave your defense out there for too long, because it's a lot of what I see with the Green Bay Packers, where they'll get out to a kind of a lead like this, 14-0, 14-3. It feels like they're in control of the game, and they'll allow the other team to just kind of stick around, gain a little bit of rhythm, a little momentum, and all of a sudden Green Bay's down 21-17 because they've gotten outscored by, a 17-3 run or whatever. Single back set. Going to go with a pitch to the near sideline. And the Steelers read it well and rally to the ball. There'll be no gain. Maybe a loss of 1. They will call it a loss of 1. 2nd and 11. Single back set. And Dilfer throws over the middle. It's knocked away. Could have been a big swing in momentum with an interception, but the completion, I think he'll take it. So 3rd down and 11.
You in for a surprise. Coming.
Chargers are... Dilfer had him. Dilfer led his receiver just a little too far. It could have been a big 3rd down conversion to keep this drive going. Instead, it's an incomplete pass. It's a little wide of the receiver. It'll be a 4th and 11 punt. Return from just inside the 20. It's going to be a better run back as they'll get to right about the 35-yard line. So Maddox with another opportunity. Kind of giving us some Hasselbeck numbers. We saw that Sunday afternoon game where Hasselbeck really did not throw the ball well. But Hasselbeck benefited from some good defense. Maddox, unfortunately, has not been able to benefit from that. 119 from the 35. He'll drop back and fire toward the outside, nearly intercepted. Chargers actually might have knocked that ball away from themselves. It looked like... No, it's just a deflection. I was going to say, it looked like maybe it was in his hands and came out, but... Because sometimes you see that gray circle at the bottom, like that's the player who has possession. Don't forget, the Steelers have LaDainian Tomlinson in the backfield. Because the Steelers have forgotten that LaDainian Tomlinson's in the backfield as that's thrown toward the near sideline. And it will be an incomplete pass. 3rd down and 10. From the shotgun. Maddox drops back, fires near side. It is incomplete again, based on where the defenders are running towards. We'll get a replay. That's knocked away by The Chargers defense, he was going for LaDainian Tomlinson, so they didn't forget about him in the pass game, I guess.
Get to the line.
Can Walter back out to punt it away? And this one will be booted inside the 15, and it'll be a fair catch. Chargers back out on the field with that 11-point lead. Really benefiting from those first couple of plays. Specifically the fumble return for a touchdown on the opening kickoff. Dilfer drops back and fires near side again. Kind of that dangerous throw. He's wanted to go to those flat out routes toward the sideline. That's where the defense can jump the ball and come up with an interception. Would be a huge swing because there isn't a lot of room for them to worry about where they might be able to get a touchdown with it. Dilfer jumps back, throws over the middle, incomplete.
That was an incomplete pass.
Third down and 10, under a minute to go. For as much flack as I'm giving Tommy Maddox, Dilfer not performing much better. 4 for 11. Drawn back yet again, and they'll rip it down the field. That is a huge completion. Out past the 40-yard line. It's going to keep this drive alive. Dilfer missed the last third down conversion a little wide, but finds the receiver this time down the field. .29 seconds to go as we have a 1st and 10 from the 41. Dilfer dropping back. Plenty of time. Steps up. Throws deep down the sideline. Overthrows his intended target. Went off his feet to try and make an adjustment, but wasn't really going to work. From the shotgun. Dilfer again drops. He'll fire short. Somehow a completion, even though there was a defender right in the way. See if they want to take a timeout. They will not, and we will head to the break. See what kind of adjustments these teams can make. Maybe it's a new quarterback. Neither has performed particularly well, but it is an 11-point lead for the Chargers. 14-3 as we head to the half. Thanks for watching Monday Night Football, here on youtube.com/Seannosaurus Rex 2. Okay, I genuinely thought the game froze right there. I was very worried. Okay, so it took that long for it to show us 2 seconds of stats. The kick will be into the end zone. It'll be returned from the E. As we get half number 2 underway. Trying to spin out of that first tackle, and he'll just barely get past that 20-yard line, so not really much of a gain or a loss. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Try and run off the left side, and it is working well to the 50, and he'll be tackled and tripped up at the 44-yard line of the Steelers. Big run to get things started here for the Chargers, who started explosively in the first quarter, though it's been very stagnant since. They got into the backfield. The Steelers defense did very quickly. But a nice job by number 50 to stay on him and get that leg tackle. Single back set. Dilfer fires. Oh my goodness. The receiver makes a nice adjustment. Looked like it was a little bit of a reach behind him. And some big plays here for the Chargers early in this second half. Have them at the 27-yard line of the Steelers. Stat line for Dilfer starting to look a little bit better.
That's the best you can do.
The pass was incomplete.
Incomplete pass for the Chargers. Second and 10. From the I formation, they'll hand it off, and it's
That was a loss of 1 yard.
moderate gain. Or excuse me, a small loss. Third down and 12 now for the Steelers. Or excuse me, for the Chargers. I saw the logo in the middle of the field. I got a little backwards there. From the shotgun, Dilfer was about to load up and let it fly, but Steelers do a nice job there. They're going to push them likely at a field goal range, so some of those big plays for San Diego don't amount to any points. And it's a good job. Number 24 takes on number 90 maybe? Somebody took on the block and was able to fight through it and get to the quarterback for the sack and set up a 4th down and 20. An opportunity there to punt it inside the 10-yard line. That's about where it'll go out. First and 10 from the 9. So a good job by the Chargers to at least punt them deep into their own territory. Not the way you want that drive to end. At least maybe try to come up with a field goal, put it to a 2-touchdown lead. Steelers' big change is they're only down 2 scores, so you do need a 2-point conversion, would be they need to get LaDainian Tomlinson the ball more frequently on the ground. Maddox is throwing really nothing effectively. Stands in the pocket clean. That is a tackle. No penalty.
Incomplete pass.
It'll be 3rd down and 7 following the incomplete pass. There we go with the pitch to the near side. Tomlinson actually got stopped more by his own blocker than that Chargers defense. If he springs that to the near side and works it a little more toward the sideline, probably has a shot at getting that 1st down. And because we know that this game is willing to give those broken tackles, you like his chances to pick something up there. But it will be a punt, and it'll be fair caught at the 36-yard line. They will go for the handoff right up the middle. It's a gain of, we'll say 4.
That was a gain of 3 yards.
They will call it 3.
He's on the move. Make sure he gets nothing.
Split back set for the Chargers as Dilfer drops back. He'll throw and find a receiver out right around midfield, at least on that midfield logo. I will call it right at the 50. First and 10. 8 for 17, 93 yards for Dilfer. Stat line's looking okay, but just a smidge over 50% completion. You'd like a little more. And he'll try to give us a little bit more, but he'll get sacked. Second down and 14 coming up. Under a minute to go here in quarter number 3. Dilfer from the shotgun. Throws and finds the completion, but oof, boy, did he get leveled at the 49-yard line.
That was a gain of 4 yards.
Short, painful 4 yards. And from the shotgun, Dilfer will drop back again. Steps up. Clean pocket, throws near sideline. The defender came out of nowhere, just based on the angle of where our camera is looking, and knocked it away. It looked open, but it was not. 42 kind of just lurking in the area. And Dilfer, I believe that incompletion will slip below 50%. Yeah, 9 for 19. So 4th and 9, 7 seconds to go. They'll try to pin him deep, or pin the Steelers deep yet again. And this one needs to bounce out. That hit somebody. That was a weird play. Let's take a quick look at it. It's 1st and 10. We can't look at it. Okay, never mind. I was a little too late on that. It must have hit a Steeler right in the helmet, or maybe it hit the Charger in the helmet. We don't get that a lot. That was bound to bounce into the end zone and be a 1st and 10 from the 20. Instead, it's 1st and 10 from the 5 to wrap up quarter number 3. A 5-yard LaDainian Tomlinson run, excuse me. We'll set up a 2nd and 5. That'll be the first play of the 4th quarter. We've seen a lot of that Chargers offense. And based on those numbers, 71 yards of offense from this Steelers team. They would need to get more than that, which it would have been 66 yards. There's a nice catch over the middle right out at the 20-yard line. First and 10. Maddox dropping back, throws, and that is a dangerous pass. A few Chargers in the area. Lucky it's just an incompletion and not something much worse. Second and 10, I formation. Hand it to the first man there, the fullback, and he is going to make some moves. It's going to be a gain of about 8. They'll probably call it 7. It is indeed a gain of 7. 3rd down and 3 as the Steelers switch into the no-huddle offense. Nice find to the near side. He'll get tackled in Chargers territory where they have not had really anything going on. But that's a nice play. Maybe this is a style of play that works for Tommy Maddox. Just get things into a rhythm. Take away some of the thought of calling the plays. Just
Set.
4 minutes to go here in the 4th. Chargers scored on their first Their first possession and the first play of the game, it has been nothing for them since. Steelers have had an opportunity in this game for most of it to try and chip away at this lead. They've have accumulated just 3 points. There's a really nice find by Maddox toward the outside. 6 for 17, bringing those statistics up just a little bit. Still, I mean, he's still sitting at a third, which isn't great, but it's a lot better than like 2 of 11, which is under 20%. Clock is ticking. 1st and 10 in the red zone for Pittsburgh. The throw is knocked away.
The pass was incomplete. Number 7, the intended receiver.
So 2nd and 10 inside the 20. Maddox drops back, throws, and receiver does a nice job to make the catch, but pays the price. They'll set up a 3rd down and manageable, 3rd and 4. The Chargers are going to give up the 3rd down conversion. Maddox with a nice find just past that line to gain. It's 1st and goal for the Steelers. They're down by 11. It's a funky number. This game doesn't always do great with it. It's tipped in the air, incomplete. 37 different Chargers had an opportunity to pick that ball off, but nobody can come up with the interception. We don't see a lot of like tip picks or tip receptions in this game, so it's not surprising that it hits the ground. Maddox will drop back, rolls to the far side. Had a receiver, but missed him.
That was an incomplete pass.
Looks like he took a hit from the defender there. 3rd and goal. Now, the game, this is where things are interesting, because I've mentioned before, and I probably just did, 11 points is a weird thing for this game to deal with. You would take the field goal. It doesn't even worry. Don't even have to worry about it. David Boston with his 3rd reception of the day. And that one goes for 6. Steelers should go for 2 here to make it a field goal game. And it's the 2nd 3rd down conversion inside the red zone that they have been able to convert. They will indeed go for 2. What I was going to say is there's a chance that this Steelers team goes for it on 4th down for the touchdown rather than just kicking the field goal, when you should just make sure you get points. They will go with a run. It has not been very consistent, the running game, but they're able to use it effectively when they need to, and it'll be a 14-11 game. Chargers going to need to put together a drive, and they would be wise to run the ball, force Pittsburgh to use timeouts. 9 for 23. Yeesh. Those are abysmal numbers, but he came through when he needed to. You can kind of see why this Pittsburgh Steelers team would be 8-6. Like, hey, their offense is abysmal, but every once in a while they like kind of accidentally put something together. 87 spins away from a defender who got through cleanly, and he'll get it back to the 20-ish. And that was, by the way, that was a 95-yard drive. Just a little reminder to you and to myself. .235 to go here in the 4th quarter. 3-point game. High formation. That's what you want to see. Just hand the ball off, even if he doesn't get a lot. It's just a gain of 1. They're going to mark him actually well short of that 20. I think it was 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line. Really bad time to have a bad run back. And it will be a timeout taken by Pittsburgh. almost get the encroachment. There's a nice find over the middle. We first and 10 to the 30, and I believe we'll see a timeout again. We will not. I apologize. The game can be really weird with its timeouts. Like, sometimes it gets really aggressive and then just stops for no reason. Chargers will go with a handoff. More than likely it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. It will.
Was the rusher. There was no gain.
Steelers actually, I like that timeout before the 2-minute warning. They do give up the first down, and I like that they didn't take it the second timeout. Let it go to the 2-minute warning. This game's clock management, not great. That'll be a run by the fullback well behind the line of scrimmage. Pittsburgh will smartly take their second timeout. And now a really important 3rd down and 12. And the biggest piece of this puzzle, the Pittsburgh Steelers just need a field goal. We'll go with a run. Finds a little bit of room, and that should be timeout number 3 taken. It will, indeed. So the Chargers get stopped on that 3rd down and long. It's 4th and 4. The punt is away. It'll be returned from the 15-yard line. And the returner will get to about the 30. Right, a couple guys missed. I thought they was maybe going to get to the 25. But not a bad return at all for Pittsburgh. So they need, what is that? They're at the 35. That's 15, maybe 40 yards. 15 to midfield. We'll give you 35. How about that? Maddox has been largely ineffective, but that last drive was easily his best. Led them to a touchdown. Led them down the field for a touchdown. And that is a short completion. Chargers can give that kind of a play up. Second and 7 as the clock here. The game clock still moves. That's incomplete. 1:20 to go. 3rd down and 7. Chargers faltered on their last couple of 3rd down opportunities to get off this field. Maddox stands in the pocket. He's going to get sacked. Keith Bullock with a huge play. He got over the defender, or excuse me, over the blocker who went low to try and trip him up. And Maddox held onto the ball just a second too long. He finally saw what he wanted to see. But by that time, it was into the backfield. It'll be, this is it. This is the game. 4th and 11. 1 minute to go. Maddox drops back. Clean pocket. Stands. Fires over the middle. He's going to convert the 4th and 11. San Diego didn't have anybody in the area. Critical mistakes by the San Diego defense. That 3rd and 6, the 3rd and goal, and now a 4th and 11. .43 seconds to go. They will stop the ball. Try to make sure to skip those extra. I try to make sure to skip those extra shots because it does eat a lot of game time off the clock. Baltimore Ravens fans holding their breath, hoping that the Chargers can pull out a win and give them an opportunity to tie the Steelers with a win against the Browns. The float pass knocked away, incomplete. So again, it's a 3rd down. It comes up a little bit quick when you do that spike. It throws me for a loop. 3rd down and 10. 36 seconds to go. They need 22 yards. Maddox in the backfield, steps up, fires deep down the middle, knocked away. What a defensive play. Oh, man. It's going to come down to another 4th and long. 4th and double digits. The Chargers unable to get off the field on 4th and 11. Can they come off the field on a 4th and 10? Clock isn't moving, so we don't worry about it there. So here it is. 4th and 10. Maddox drops back, fires. He's wide open. Shannon Sharp, is wide open. This San Diego defense cannot get off the field when they absolutely have to have it. A 4th and 11, a 4th and 10 on this drive alone. A 3rd and 6 on the previous drive. A 3rd and goal that could have forced a field goal try, which would mean that the Steelers would need to be going for the touchdown now. But now they're out of... Oh, I goofed that up. Well, it's not that big of a deal. I got so excited. I got so into what I was talking about. I almost cost the Steelers a chance to tie this game. Sorry about that. John Carney's 1 for 1. He's made it from 32. The kick is up. It's good. We're going to overtime. The Chargers scored so quickly, so early, and they have done absolutely nothing since. And this is what I was talking about. I talked about it earlier in this game. I have watched so many Packers games where a similar thing happens. You need the defense to get a stop, or you need the offense to keep a drive alive, and they cannot do it. They cannot get it done. 12 of 29. A disgusting stat line from Tommy Maddox, but it doesn't matter. Because it is a 14-14 game, and he came through when they absolutely had to have it. From the E. Stiff arms the first guy, and it's run out back past the 25. We'll take a look at the replay. And that will take us to the end of regulation.
Reached the end of regulation time with a tie score.
14-14. This would be a truly awful loss for the San Diego Chargers, whose playoff hopes would take a severe shot.
Captain will make the call.
Steelers are in a good position, but they can solidify themselves into the playoffs with a win here because they are 8-6. A 9-win season will get you into the playoffs here.
It is heads.
In NFL Fever 2004. Ravens sitting at 7-7, just behind them. And the Steelers are going to get the ball to start overtime. It does remind me of one of the Russell Wilson games I watched for the Seahawks. They played the Bears. And it's the sudden death overtime rules back then as well. That's a nice run back out near the 30. And you just watched Russell Wilson use his athleticism and his legs to wear the Bears defense down, worked it down the field, got the tie. They got that first possession in overtime, and they did the same thing. Wilson just ran with the ball, made the passes, whatever. And the Bears defense after the game was talking about, like, we didn't have anything left. We were worn out. You wonder if that's going to be this Chargers defense. Coming out onto the field after giving up the tying touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal.
Tomlinson was the runner. He picked up 4 yards.
Second down and 6. 12 for 29, 164 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Now the tie would also get the Steelers the division as well. This Chargers team they just don't have anything left. They let the Steelers team just stick around. Their offense was never very good. They took advantage of the interception, and they got the fumble on the opening kickoff. And that was all that they did. So 1st and 10, already in the Chargers territory. And it's going to be a false start penalty.
False start against the offense.
Which we don't see a ton of. But it does set him back 5 yards. And a couple of LaDainian Tomlinson runs on this drive are also why you would go, you have to run the ball more. Please. From the single back set, Tomlinson spins back inside, and boy, if he sticks outside, works around that block, he might be hitting a walk-off touchdown. 2nd down and 10, he races the penalty yards on that run. Maddox will take the snap, throws short to Tomlinson, who he'll lose maybe a yard. They'll call it 3rd and 10. All right, Chargers, here's another opportunity for you to get off the field and force a punt. Maddox drops back, rolls. He's going to fire. It's intercepted. He is off to the races at the 50, the 40, the 30. Gets out of the tackle to the 20, the 10, the 5. It's a walk-off interception touchdown from Derek Brooks. 54 yards. Might have been a little bit longer because it was his 2nd interception of the game. Oh my goodness. What a win for the Chargers. What a loss for the Steelers. I have no words. What a weird and wacky game that was. Well, thank you so much for watching Monday Night Football here on youtube.com/Seannosaurus Rex 2 as all the players just huddle in the corner. 20-14 your final. San Diego with a miracle win, and Pittsburgh with a heartbreaking loss. They are still in a good position in the AFC North. We'll find out more about that at the end of this video. Derek Brooks is your Wilson game ball recipient. 2 tackles. He matched each tackle with an interception and then had a touchdown to end it. A fantastic game. Stick around. We'll get you caught up on the scores. If not, we'll see you Thursday for week number 17. Subscribe to the channel. Like the video if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. What a game. After an unbelievable finish in our Monday Night Football game, let's get you caught up on the scores from around the league. Buccaneers beat the Falcons 33-27. We watched the Chiefs pummel the Vikings 24-7. Patriots over the Jets 14-0. Browns beat the Ravens 31-3, so that will secure the AFC North for the Steelers. The Rams beat the Bengals by 3, 20-17. The Panthers over the Lions 27-10. Bills beat the Dolphins 7-0. Jaguars over the Saints 41-10. Cowboys beat the Giants 6-0. Titans over the Texans 14-6. That was our Thursday night game. We have Washington over Chicago 40-34. Well, that's a high scoring game. We watched the Chargers defeat the Steelers in overtime on a walk-off interception touchdown 20-14, your final there. Seahawks beat the Cardinals 34-10. 49ers over the Eagles 24-20. Colts beat the Broncos 29-14. And the Raiders defeat the Packers 31-21. Let's head to the standings and see where we sit. We'll take a look at the NFC. The Rams 12-3. They have the 1 spot. The Seahawks, because they are not winning the NFC West, will be the 5 seed with an 11-4 record. Eagles sit at 10-5. They lead the NFC East. Packers and Vikings both 9-6, along with Washington. One of these three teams is not going to make it in because of the Saints at 8-7. They lead the NFC South. 49ers might be eliminated. I've talked about it several times, but these are all the stats that we have: wins, losses, ties. I could go back in and try and figure it out, but I'm sure that would just give me a headache. Panthers also at 8-7. Buccaneers are 7-8. Cowboys 7-8. Falcons 7-8. Bears 5-10. Cardinals 3-12, along with the Giants, the Lions, a miserable 2-13. So Rams 1, Seahawks 5, Eagles 2, Packers or Vikings 3, Saints at the moment 4, Saints or Panthers 4. Then you'd have the Seahawks at 5, and then Packers, Vikings, or Washington would be the 6. Take a look at the AFC. The top three seeds are locked in. Jaguars 11-4. The Raiders hot on their heels at 10-4-1. I'd have to take a look and see, but if the Jaguars lose and the Raiders win, could be the Raiders in the number 1 seed. But that would be your 1-2. The Dolphins would be your 3 at 10-5. Titans would be your 5 at 8-6-1. So both teams with the tie in week 1 of the season, have the shot at being in the playoffs. The Chargers, Chiefs are your 8-7 teams. The Steelers are 8-7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the Chargers or the Chiefs are going to be the team. One of those teams is going to be out because of the Steelers. They will be your 4. Dolphins your 3. Raiders or Jags 1, 2. And then the Titans, the 4 spot. Browns, Texans, Broncos, Patriots, Ravens, all 7-8. The Jets 6-9, Colts 6-9, Bengals 6-9, Bills 5-10. Let's see. Washington might be able to get there. I'd really have to go look at the schedules for that. Dolphins are your AFC East winners. Saints and Panthers go vying for the NFC South title. That's the only way they're going to get into the playoffs. AFC South is locked up for the Jaguars. NFC West, we know that the Rams and Seahawks split, but the Rams scored more points. So that if that's the deficit, you would have the Rams being NFC West winners. And the Seahawks putting up an 11-4 record is wild to be a 5 seed. AFC West is wrapped up for the Raiders. NFC North, it's going to be either the Packers or the Vikings. AFC North is the Steelers. I believe best they can do is 8-8. Huh. Wow. We'll have to see what kind of games I can find and see how many of these playoff teams are going to be vying for spots here. Well, hopefully we have a fun finish coming up in week number 17. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. I already gave you an outro in the game, but if you did watch to this point, I do appreciate it. It's a lot of fun to make these, and hopefully we'll see you for week 17, which will kick off Thursday at 5:15 p.m. Pacific time with ? Because I haven't looked at the games. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video for more, and have a great rest of your night.